Aloha! This is lesson 39 from A Course in Miracles with Hope Johnson. My holiness is my salvation. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? Like the text for which this workbook was written, the ideas used for the exercises are very simple, very clear, and totally unambiguous. We are not concerned with intellectual feats nor logical toys. We are dealing only in the very obvious, which has been overlooked in the clouds of complexity in which you think. If guilt is hell, what is its opposite? This is not difficult, surely. The hesitation you may feel in answering is not due to the ambiguity of the question. But do you believe that guilt is hell? If you did, you would see at once how direct and simple the text is, and you would not need a workbook at all. No one needs practice to gain what is already his. We have already said that your holiness is the salvation of the world. What about your own salvation? You cannot give what you do not have. A Savior must be saved. How else can he teach salvation? Today's exercises will apply to you recognizing that your salvation is crucial to the salvation of the world. As you apply the exercises to your world, the whole world stands to benefit. Your holiness is the answer to every question that was ever asked, is being asked now, or will be asked in the future. Your holiness means the end of guilt, and therefore the end of hell. Your holiness is the salvation of the world and your own. How could you, to whom your holiness belongs, be excluded from it? God does not know unholiness. Can it be he does not know his Son? A full 5 minutes are urged for the 4 longer practice periods for today, and longer and more frequent practice sessions are encouraged. If you want to exceed the minimum requirements, more rather than longer sessions are recommended, although both are suggested. Begin the practice periods as usual by repeating today's idea to yourself. Then, with closed eyes, search out your unloving thoughts in whatever form they appear. Uneasiness, depression, anger, fear, worry, attack, insecurity, and so on. Whatever form they take, they are unloving and therefore fearful. And so it is from them that you need to be saved. Specific situations, events, or personalities you associate with unloving thoughts of any kind are suitable subjects for today's exercises. It is imperative for your salvation that you see them differently, and it is your blessing on them that will save you and give you vision. Slowly, without conscious selection, and without undue emphasis on any one in particular, search your mind for every thought that stands between you and your salvation. Apply the idea for today to each of them in this way. My unloving thoughts about blank are keeping me in hell. My holiness is my salvation. You may find these practice periods easier if you intersperse them with several short periods during which you merely repeat today's idea to yourself slowly a few times. You may also find it helpful to include a few short intervals in which you just relax and do not seem to be thinking of anything. Sustained concentration is very difficult at first. It will become much easier as your mind becomes more disciplined and less distractible. Meanwhile, you should feel free to introduce variety into the exercise periods in whatever form appeals to you. Do not, however, change the idea itself as you vary the method of applying it. However you elect to use it, the idea should be stated so that its meaning is the fact that your holiness is your salvation. End each practice period by repeating the idea in its original form once more and adding, if guilt is hell, what is its opposite? In the shorter applications, which should be made some 3 or 4 times an hour, and more if possible, you may ask yourself this question. Repeat today's idea and preferably both. If temptations arise, a particularly helpful form of the idea is, my holiness is my salvation from this. So the question you're asking is, if guilt is hell, what is its opposite? Right? So my holiness is my salvation. You see, in all the things that seem to pass in front of you, it's your holiness that's your salvation from them. It's not listening to your unloving thoughts. Mm-hmm. To the ego, your unloving thoughts are your salvation. Right? Mm-hmm. But truly, it's your holiness that's your salvation. So as you're searching your mind, for me, I'll just sit quietly and make an intention that I'm looking for unloving thoughts. I'm looking for anything that makes me feel uneasy, right? And even to say that, makes me feel uneasy, that's what it looks like. But that's not really the case. What we're learning here is that our uneasiness does not come from that thing. It comes from our unloving thoughts. And that's a guilty thought, right? So my holiness is my salvation is release from that in this instant. That's what you're looking for. Release from any unloving thoughts. Anything that gives me irritation, like, I noticed today, like, I was about ready to take a shower, and I just noticed wrinkles on my body, which I hadn't noticed before, now there seems to be wrinkles on my body, like on my belly and shit, and it's just you know what I'm saying? So there's this sense of uneasiness. So what I'm saying is that's exactly what gets brought to the truth. My holiness is my salvation from this. Right away, if there's a sense of uneasiness, or you can hear it in the tone of my voice when I just say it, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a sense of uneasiness in this. That's it. And it's in this holy instant that there's relief from it. It doesn't matter if there's a part of me that still holds that. That'll come up to be purified in time. That's what it's for. See? Mm-hmm. It's release in this instant. Isn't that fun?
So fun.
Yay. Okay, so my unloving thoughts about blank are keeping me in hell. That's the practice, for today. My holiness is my salvation. So you can vary this. So throughout the day, when you're getting these reminders, if you have the ACIM app, which I posted to my Telegram, Awakening with Hope on Telegram, I posted that ACIM app there. Get that app, and it'll make it easy for you to get your reminders. So my unloving thoughts about blank are keeping me in hell. That's one way you can remind yourself, like when the reminder comes up. So you want to think on something like this. I like it as often as, for me, I as often as an uneasy feeling arises about anything, like just all throughout the day. This course, A Course in Miracles, gives you specific form to use for the day, but I just don't use a specific form usually. It's just apparent to me, right? It's just immediately apparent to me. And people will ask me, how do you have so much energy? Like the night before last, I slept 2 hours and I'm freaking partying. I'm like dancing. I'm drinking alcohol too and smoking weed, and you know, and I'm like up to, and then I'm up until like midnight again, you know, and then I'm like just you know, it just keeps on going because I don't buy into meaningless thoughts. Even the idea that I slept 2 hours, it's not a fact.
Right.
So it's like the idea crosses my mind. Oh my God, I only slept 2 hours last night. My holiness is my salvation. And you know,
guilt.
You're right. So this is teaching you. You're using a thought, right? And you're using a thought in A Course in Miracles to do this. But eventually, like in my case, I've practiced this a lot. So I don't need the thought the majority of the time. I do not need a thought. When I get hung up, like if I get pulled into something, I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm like, my eyes are wide and I'm fucking like breathing weird. Then I'll use an ACIM thought, right? The thing is, I've gotten really good at being pulled out, letting myself just be pulled right out of any kind of unloving thoughts. And that is energy. It does not come from sleeping. It does not come from eating the right food. You know, these ideas, oh, my body, it does this if I don't do fucking this over here. It's not like that. It's only about which thoughts you would make meaningful. That's all. So this is teaching you how to see this. You're basically learning how to see differently. And, you know, someone asked today, I saw on Facebook, what can I do to become a better person? I just want to become a better person. And it's like, this is it. You see differently because you are not a person and you are glorious. You're holy. This is teaching you your holiness. So you don't get this perception. Even if someone reflects to you that you're a bad person, it's like, that's a meaningless thought to you. All you have is love to extend as the salvation of the world. My holiness is my salvation from this. So it's like, that way you can just extend love, right? And it heals everything. So hooray, everyone. Have a beautiful practice. We love you. Ahui ho.